Welcome back to a little introduction of copperplate calligraphy in collaboration with Pen to Paper. I'm Sapphire from Just Because Calligraphy, and this is a three-part series with Pen to Paper of how to use their lovely paper, copperplate nibs, pen holder, ink. So last episode I introduced these tools and why they're so amazing, and if you haven't seen it, check it out, and if you have, welcome back, and I'm going to explain how to use these tools. So the pen holder, this is a lovely wooden pen holder, and I'm going to choose this nib, the blue pumpkin copperplate nib. It's a lovely blue colour, and you just stick it in the foot of the pen holder like that. And then, as these are all brand new nibs, they're going to have some manufacturer's oils on them, which are really difficult to take off, and it means that your ink won't flow smoothly out of your nib unless those oils are off. So how do we clean them? Soap and hot water is what a lot of people use, but that's a common error because it won't actually take off those oils. The best way to take off those oils is either a little bit of spit and clean your nib, but that's not very hygienic in these COVID times. So another great way to clean your nib is simply with a potato. It sounds very strange, but you simply just stab your potato. It's very therapeutic as well, to let out some anger or whatever. You just stab your potato, and that will, the enzymes in the potato or whatever will just wash off any manufacturer's oils, and then you just simply clean your nib in some water, wipe it. So that's your nib is set and ready to use now. So there's the potato, get that out of the way. And now to have my paper ready, I've got some guidelines. So copperplate calligraphy, it's all the strokes are on a forward slant. So you see these diagonal lines, everything is on that forward slant, which is a 55-degree angle. And I'm just gonna slide that behind my Rhodia sheet, and I can see those guidelines really easily. So just going to dip my nib in my ink. Just make sure the whole nib is covered. You might want to wipe it on the side so you don't have too much ink. And what we do is we need to have a really good posture. So feet both flat on the ground, straight back, and you want your arm to be going up and down on that forward slant really comfortably. Just going to pull my paper towards me, and that means I'm more comfortable. And we start off by practicing pushing and pulling on that forward slant. So when I'm pushing up, it's a thin stroke. And when I pull down, I put pressure on the nib and I pull down. So this is called pushing and pulling. And that shows you your thin hairline strokes and your thick swollen strokes. And now I'm going to show you the basic strokes of copperplate calligraphy. So every single lowercase letter, every single word is just a combination of these basic strokes I'm going to show you. So we've got the entrance stroke. This is simply pushing up with a slight curve. And next I'm going to show you the overturn. So this, we're pushing up on the forward slant and pulling down on the forward slant. And as you can see, when I pull down, that stroke is swollen. Next we've got the underturn. This one we're pulling down and pushing up. Next, we've got the compound curve. This one is 3 parallel lines. So we're pushing up, pulling down, pushing up. So every time we push up, it's a hairline thin stroke. Every time we pull down, it's a swollen stroke. Next basic stroke is the ascender loop. So we're going above your X height now. So there's a thin upstroke and then I pull down on the forward slant. Next, we've got the descender loop. So think like your letter G, your letter Y, where it descends below your baseline. So we're pulling down and pushing up. And next we've got the oval. So that is a thin stroke along the top of the oval, and then we pull down on the left side and push up on the right side. Next we've got the full pressure downstroke. So that's all the way from the top to the bottom, the same pressure on the nib. So it's all a swollen stroke. And last but not least, we've got the comma dot. So this is a connector stroke. It's a dot and then a thin left to right stroke. Once you know these basic strokes, you can write anything in copperplate script. So it all boils down to these basic strokes. So if you have these tools, you have some nice smooth paper, you have some black ink, give them a go, and thank you very much for watching this episode. Our next episode will be how to combine these basic strokes to write a real word, and look forward to seeing you then. Thank you very much. Bye.